And now we can start. And now?
Yes. Perfect. Good day, everyone. I hope you all are having an excellent day or night, depends where you are. My name is Ana Carrillo. I'm from Mexico and a student of the bachelor's degree in pharmaceutical chemistry biologist from the University of Guadalajara. The POP family welcomes you to this session titled Poster Presentations of Eco-Projects. We are very excited to have you here. Before we start, I would like to mention a series of indications. We would like to ask you to turn off your microphone to avoid any background noise. If you have any questions, you can ask them through the Zoom chat. Our facilitators will help us to coordinate with your requires. We would also like to share our social media handles to keep you informed about our future activities. Please see the chat box for the social media handles, and if you are posting anything from your account, please use our hashtags. Also, you can sign up to be part of POP using the link that we will share in the chat, and you can sign up for the special workshops organized by POP partners that will take place during the POP Festival. Today, we are honored by the presence of graduate Nahid and Dr. Suchita as our evaluators who will evaluate the projects you will present today and will announce the results at the end of the 5-day festival. It is an honor for me to present graduate Nahid Ayala. She studied law and social sciences. She currently collaborates with POP as a representative in Northeast Mexico and continues to work to promote the culture of caring for the environment in Tamaulipas with actions such as efficient use of energy in schools, care and reuse of water, reforestations, recycle campaigns, among others. And also, it is an honor for me to present Dr. Suchita Suresh. She focuses on the biogeochemical process of trace metals in marine and coastal systems. She has always aspired to orient young researchers in the field of environmental sciences with innovation and attentiveness. Presently, she's doing her postdoctorate research. Thank you all so much for your honorable participation. Now, it is time for me to present Daniela Gomez de la Maza with her project, The Role of Environmental Education in the Ecological Footprint of University Students. She is from the University of Americas Puebla in Mexico. Go ahead, Daniela.
Thank you very much, Anna. Would you like me to present the poster or should I just present the project as such?
However you feel comfortable, I think we can give her access, Como, to share her screen.
Yes, Anna.
Thank you.
Okay, so for a little bit of context, sorry,
Yeah.
what?
And now you can share your screen.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. Just give me 2 seconds to find it. Aquí está. Ay, no. Just 1 second. All right. Okay. Okay, for a little bit of context to all of you guys here, I'm from Universidad de las Américas Puebla, which is a private university in Mexico. So I'm a graduate of biology. And what I decided to do with my bachelor's thesis was to focus on measuring the efficacy of the environmental education taught at the university, right? So to do this, I decided to measure the ecological footprint of the students. So what I did was measure the ecological footprints of the students and then compare the footprints of senior students versus freshman students. Senior students had already been taught the environmental education that goes on in the university, which is one course called Ethic of Sustainable Development. But so I think can you see my screen? Yes. Okay, cool. Okay, so Yes, so I compared the ecological footprints, which to all of you who aren't familiar with that term, refers to the biologically productive area that is required to provide a given population the products it needs, right? So I don't know, if I eat a lot of meat, so the area that is required to produce that meat is measured in global hectares, and everything in my lifestyle has an equivalent of productive area that is required, right? So that is what the ecological footprint measures. And I used the Global Ecological Footprint Network, which I kind of measured all of the students. It was a sample of 200 students of all academic schools. So what we found was extremely interesting. The average ecological footprint of the students at my university was of 6.1 global hectares per person, right? So when we compared this to other available information, we realized that it actually surpasses the Mexico's national average, which is 2.6 global hectares per person. And it is located between several countries that actually are known to have a higher GDP in the country. And once we decided to analyze the data, we realized that the school who showed the highest ecological footprints was business, and the lowest one was science. So I decided to deep dive a little bit more in what this means and why students who are aware of the climate crisis, who are aware of the unsustainable living that we have, don't take action. So I decided to apply a questionnaire or a survey that tried to identify psychological barriers that block them from taking action, right? So it was super, super interesting, because what we found is that at this age of undergraduate students, most students don't take action because of the fear of comparison with others, right? So that was 20.1% of the whole student population, and the reason why they didn't take action in a more sustainable living. Then after that comes the ideologies barrier, which is mostly that the students believe there will be a great technological advancement and experts in technology will just provide the solution to the climate crisis. And then after that was just limited cognition, which referred to really not knowing the problematic, like the whole crisis and what to do and how to do it. So those were the three main barriers in undergraduate students, but it was extremely interesting to find out what goes on and what is the perception between in this population, this segment of the population, and how they relate to the climate crisis. So, and also what popped up was that private university students, they had a 6.3 global hectares per person, right? So when we compare that to other studies that were done actually in a Mexican public university, the average ecological footprint was of 1.4 global hectares. So this is huge. This is a huge difference. And it really puts into perspective that what is the responsibility that private universities have and hold amid, like as educators amid the climate crisis, because they have the time and they have the space. And the thing nobody really talks about is privilege and how people address this privilege and try to have a more sustainable living, right? And try to do their part in this climate crisis. So in the end, I believed that in order to reduce our ecological footprint, we must first check the price tag of our boots. And then from that point on, then we can really start to make a difference and just be more self-aware of our own decisions and our own impact. So that's my poster. I don't know if you guys have any questions. Hopefully I stayed under the 10-minute line.
Yes, I think you did.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Daniela.
No, you're welcome. Okay, bye. I'm gonna stop sharing.
I would like to request our evaluators, graduate Nahid or Dr. Suchita, if they have any questions for Daniela.
Hola Daniela, me gustó mucho tu proyecto, te felicito. Quiero saber si pudiste hacer algunas acciones con tu proyecto, si pudiste realizar algo dentro de tu plantel educativo y que nos platiques un poquito más de esa experiencia que se me hace maravillosa. Me gustó mucho lo que comentaste acerca de cuántas veces los jóvenes no toman acciones por miedo a la reacción de los demás. O sea, cómo nos puede impactar mucho la influencia, pues no sé, negativa o positiva a veces de los demás y nos da miedo actuar por miedo a las reacciones de los demás compañeros, lo que piensen de si está bien o está mal o se rían de nosotros. Me gustó mucho tu comentario y platícanos un poquito qué pudiste hacer tú y qué notaste y si a lo mejor pudiste incentivar un poquito a tus compañeros o reducir un poquito la huella de carbono. Conozco tu plantel, es hermoso, estás en un lugar privilegiado en México, es preciosa la Universidad de Puebla y te felicito por tu proyecto. Ojalá que haya muchas Danielas como tú y no te canses de seguir trabajando por tu proyecto. Te felicito.
Muchísimas gracias. I don't know if I have to answer in English the question, but what I did was during my thesis, I presented a guideline, a step-by-step guideline for the university to act upon this diagnosis of the efficacy of their environmental education. So it was I really didn't want the thesis to just be presented and forgotten. So I tried to create this guideline because the thing is that the environmental education taught in the university is one mandatory course, right? That everybody needs to take. But the thing is that right now they changed the, like recently, like a year ago, they changed the academic syllabus. So people can actually now choose between two alternatives. And a lot of people may choose the other alternative that is being taught at the same time as the environmental education course, which does not focus that much at all in the environmental education. So my first approach was to go back to having one mandatory course for all, but actually bringing teachers into like capacitation, I don't know, como capacitaciones in regards to that subject, in regards to the environmental crisis, because I truly believe that the solution to this crisis is integral, right? And interdisciplinary. And if people don't really know how the crisis can be attended from their own point of view, from economics, from business, from arts, from all of these surrounding areas, then we don't have a lot to go on. And we depend on the educators to be familiarized with those subjects to actually be brought up in class. I mean, they have the space, they have the time, 4 years of our lives in a really cool space. And the thing about the comparison with others barrier that you were mentioning, I think it's really cool because it also provides the opportunity of young leadership and positive reinforcement when we take action, right? So what I did personally with all of the students that I interviewed, after they realized their impact, so after I explained what their ecological footprint meant, I then gave them a little bit of pointers, a little bit of all of this, and they honestly had no idea that they took so much, you know? So yeah, I don't want to take much time, but that led to another project which we're now developing, which focuses on just measuring the impact, the environmental impact of people, and literally guiding them and facilitating them to take action at a local level and at a national level called the Color Book. So I'm very excited. Cool. I don't know if there's anything else.
Thank you so much, Daniela. I don't know if someone else has any other.
Yes, I have a question. Thank you, Daniela, for your presentation. I just want to ask you whether you have, what is your personally, how are you trying to reduce your ecological footprint? Personally, what are you doing to the environment?
That is a great question, I think. Well, I've been planning with my family as a whole to, we just installed some solar panels, which I'm very excited about. I've also been reducing my consumption of plastic as well as meat. Well, tried. I'm in that stage of trying where I fail and then I have to get up again and then try again, because I used to really love meat. But I'm really trying and reducing my consumption, as well as I don't use the car anymore unless it's absolutely necessary. And I think the pandemic in that way kind of has helped, because I don't go out at all. I try to put my part in not to spread the coronavirus, but it still has become more of a habit right now to me. And then I tried to take really short showers, and I mostly, by doing this, and I haven't noticed this, but by doing this, my family started taking action as well, right? So I realized that if I talked to them and I tried to explain the impact and the problem, they were kind of closed-minded. They didn't really want to change their habits. But then I started doing it regardless of what they thought. And despite if they were supportive or not. And then it was incredible to see how supportive they actually were, right? So, because when you lead by example, people are more prone to take action themselves, which is why the barrier of inaction, the highest barrier, is comparison with others. If people were to do it, and if people were to create like a normal, to make that a normality, then other people would join, right? So I think it's really cool to do so. But yeah, in my life, it's just small little changes that I can do right now. And the solar panels were a huge improvement. But I'm planning on doing a lot more, like putting a system of water caption, of rainwater caption. Like, it's just, yeah, trying my best.
Okay, thank you, Daniela. Thank you.
That sounds amazing, Daniela. I think Moharama just raised her hand. I don't know.
Yes, I have raised my hand. Okay, I know my name is a very difficult to spell. It's Jyoti Ranjan. I
Sorry.
hope. Yes, no problem, no problem. It's very common nowadays. Yes. So my question was to, I think, all of you who are just who explained us. My question is, what are your suggestions that how can we literally stop using plastic from our daily life? Sometimes they become so much essential, not the plastic which can there are many types of plastic. Is it possible to stop using any kind of plastic, and if yes, then how?
Okay, so my posture here might be considered a little bit controversial, because I think that a material cannot be, I don't know, satanized. I like, it cannot be completely disregarded. I think the thing is that, okay, the thing is that sustainability comes with context, in my belief. So, for example, in Mexico, the management of residual and the management of trash and all of that is a chaos, and it does not happen, and it's terrible. So all of the plastic does end up being consumed and terrible for the environment, right? So my decision and by trying to reduce my carbon footprint, I try to go to the people that can provide me with long-lasting stuff. And that maybe comes in zero waste stores where I can go and then I try to, I buy dry shampoo and dry conditioner. So the package that it used to come in, I don't use that anymore. And it suddenly becomes a habit of mine to stop doing that. And then with plastic bags, I always carry a bag with me, always. And it really has helped in more ways than one. Like I go on a hike and then I have my bag and then I see a lot of trash and I just pick it up and take it with me, you know? And honestly, just carrying this kind of stuff with you, it really helps a lot. And obviously this has to be reflected by internal policies, because we can do a lot of effort, but then if the policies are not there to help out, it becomes kind of hard. But we can definitely, in all of the things that you can imagine, there are non-plastic options. And there are no packaging options for those sort of things. It's just a matter of searching. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, I mean,
Jotran.
yes,
Sorry.
once again. Okay, no problem. So yes, you had totally answered, I think. You tried your best. Even I was thinking you're doing. So internal choices are very much important in doing all this. Okay, and about very much thank you for answering my question.
No, thank you for asking. I don't know
Thank
if
you. And thank you, Daniela. I think the things that you're doing, your project is amazing, and all the activities that you're doing to reduce your footprint and everything, it's wonderful. I think it works really as an inspiration for all of us to learn from you and to start doing something to protect our planet.
Thank you.
And well, I would like to thank all the participants, our evaluators, especially Daniela. I think it has been a very enriching session, and we hope this platform has served as motivation and inspiration for all of us. I invite you to continue watching the next sessions that will take place the rest of the day and the rest of the 5 days of the Pulp Festival. Thank you all so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you at the next session.